Hello, everybody, and welcome to our webinar today, everybody. I'm really glad everybody could join us. So today we're going to be talking about something everybody needs to know about, which is your LexisNexis credit report. This is one of the most shocking things. I've been in financial services for 19 years, and this is one of the most shocking things I've ever seen when I actually went in and got my LexisNexis credit report. So what we're going to do today is review it. Yep. We're going to review my LexisNexis credit report. I'm going to show you the crazy things that are on this credit report that you should know about. We're going to talk about how you can get it. We're going to talk about why you need to know about it and how loans and financing and credit is getting denied because of information that's on this report that you don't know about. We're going to talk about what you need to do to fix it. And then we're going to talk about a little bit how this ties into business credit building, what you need to know about business credit building, and exactly how you can get the best results getting credit for your EIN that's not linked to your social. So we're going to do all of this. I'm going to try to get this done in 90 minutes, but I got a ton of content, so we're going to have to move pretty quick through this. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Ty Crandall. I'm actually the CEO here at Credit Suite. I'm now 18 years in the financial industry, ever since I got out of the Air Force back in the 90s. I speak about business credit, talk about LexisNexis, talk about financing worldwide. I'm the author of 2 of the best-selling books on consumer and commercial credit, Perfect Credit and Business Credit Decoded. You can hear me everywhere. I'm on TV and news stations, Forbes, Entrepreneur, Inc. magazine, and I have the luxury and honor of overseeing the largest business credit partner in the United States. So we help thousands of partners around the country offer business credit and financing as a service. So I won't tell you this to brag. I just tell you this so you have an idea of my experience. And this is what I'm doing when I have free time. I really make the most of my time down here in Florida with my family, especially spending a bunch of time with my kids, Cash and Chanel. And I spend a lot of time right up here in the cockpit of just about anything that they will let me fly. So what we're going to cover today, well, we're going to talk about what LexisNexis is. If you're not familiar with them, you need to be, because here's who they are. They are ultimately the source that the other sources get their data from. So what's happening is a lot of the lenders, a lot of the credit issuers getting their data from these guys. And then what's happening is they're using this data to make all kinds of lending decisions about you. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. The kinds of information that they're gathering, this is shocking. I mean, the materials that are used in the building of your home, for example. There's so many crazy things you're going to want to know. We're going to take a look at those. The shocking thoroughness of their information, how this data is used to deny your business loans credit more. We just had a perfect example of this. A loan didn't get denied. It was required they paid off $100,000 in judgments that were not on the credit report that came from the LexisNexis credit report. That disputing this data with LexisNexis would have saved the borrower $100,000. Not exactly, it was like $85,000. It would have saved them just by knowing what we're going to be talking about today. So look, a lot of people just don't know that this information is out there. Usually people don't think or know unless there's a data breach in the news or they've had their identity stolen. The sheer volume of data that's out there about you, okay? Your personal information is online from even before the internet existed, and every bit of that is fair game for lenders and credit issuers, and they're going to use that to make all kinds of lending decisions about you. Look, this is the game. The game is lenders and credit issuers get secret data that you don't know about to know everything about you they can to make lending and credit issuing decisions. They know that data you do know about, for example, your consumer credit report, if you see stuff that's on there that's unfavorable, you're going to dispute it. But if you don't even know what LexisNexis is, it's secret. The lenders and credit issuers can infiltrate this information, and yet you don't even know it exists. So you're not armed with a position where you can then defend yourself. And that's something that we're going to turn around and we're going to fix today. So look, if you've ever been turned down for a bank loan, you're going to know, and you want to know why, this is exactly the place you need to be. If you're just getting started, want to assure future success in getting business loans, I'm going to get you to the source that these sources get their data from and teach you what you need to do to make sure that that's data is to a point where you can get approved. If you're interested in getting what personal information is out there about you, this is the right place for you. And again, if you have anything is keeping you from getting funding, if you're looking to get business credit cards, loans, credit lines, you definitely need to know this information, because this is what will control your future there. So what is LexisNexis? Well, ultimately they're a credit reporting agency, but instead of providing data to consumers that's front facing, they gather and provide data to various industries behind the scenes. And this is why I say it's a secret reporting agency, because even though they are a credit reporting agency, most consumers don't know anything about them and have never seen their LexisNexis credit report. So again, they work with a lot of different industries: insurance agencies, government, financial services, debt collection, law enforcement, healthcare, and more. And you're about to see why, because the information on LexisNexis is nothing like a consumer credit report. There's all kinds of details on these reports, including traffic violations and licenses you've had and all this other information that you're not going to find on your regular consumer credit reports. Now, in early 2018, LexisNexis announced a partnership with the Small Business Finance Exchange. They're one of 4 certified vendors. The others are DMB, Experian, and Equifax. Okay, so why you need to know this: SBFE is a data warehouse that is owned by its members. The members of SBFE are lenders. Lenders own a secret data gathering warehouse that they all give their data to. Every time you fill out an application, every time you make a loan payment, every time you miss a loan payment, all that data gets supplied to SBFE. And then what happens is other lenders can access that data to make all kinds of lending decisions about you. I've done training on this before. You need to know it because that's one place the data is coming from. What LexisNexis does, DMB, Experian, and Equifax, these 4 what are called vendors, get the data from LexisNexis and show some of it on your business credit reports. So what happens is LexisNexis is behind the scenes, right? The lender, the SBFE is behind the scenes, okay? SBFE is gathering all this information from lenders. Then LexisNexis, DMB, Equifax, Experian get the data from SBFE, and then what they're doing is putting some of it in your credit reports and giving a lot of it to other lenders and credit issuers. So it's all circling back around. So by accessing LexisNexis data, you're able to really tap into a lot of the information here that's with the SBFE. So the members of SBFE, again, are the owners, they're lenders, and again, they're using the net LexisNexis data, but non-members really aren't using this data. So what's happening is lenders are getting access to data that you don't have, and the data is being used to make these lending decisions. So how do they do it? Well, they're getting your information from sources such as the courts, local tax or property records, insurance policies, and then they use their proprietary linking technology and link data from all these different sources, many more than I've listed here, and populate them into a financial and legal picture of you. So this is the way credit reporting works. A lot of people think that TransUnion and Equifax and Experian, for example, have credit reports for you. They don't. What they actually do have is they have all this data floating around. Think about it just floating in space. And then when somebody wants a credit report for you, they take all data they think belongs to you and put it onto a report. They populate a report with data they believe belongs to you. This is why the majority of identity theft isn't really identity theft, because what happens is it's data that isn't really yours that they grabbed from space and put into your report thinking it was yours. Okay, and this happens all the time. So what LexisNexis does, they have this proprietary technology that goes and grabs all this data and populates it into a report for you. So LexisNexis can then predict how likely it is you'll pay back loans. They check your data across a bunch of sources: bankruptcy records, your complete address for your entire life, every email address you've ever had, and more. And they match what you put on any business finance application. Okay, and this is for fraud detection and prevention. Why you need to know this? Let me give you 2 examples. I've been turned down financing before because they said I was in the credit repair industry. And I'm like, where do you see that? There's no information about that. They ended up getting it because I had old credit repair from a company I used to own email addresses on my LexisNexis credit report. I can give you story after story after story of data of loans and credit that's denied because of this information, and that's one example. They got my LexisNexis, they saw an email related to credit, they backtracked, put me into an industry that I was used to be in many years ago, and they denied me for financing. Okay, the other huge problem here, and why you really need to know, is that majority of loans, over 51% of loans are denied because of potential fraud. So you might go in and apply for a loan, and then you get denied, and you're like, yeah, I didn't have the income, I didn't have this, I didn't qualify. But the reality is, in 51% of the time, it had nothing to do with the fact that you didn't qualify. It's that they think that your application is fraud. Here's the question: why do they think it's fraud? Because what's happening is these lenders are going to secret data sources like SBFE and LexisNexis. They're getting data about you. Then they're taking your application data. They're cross-checking it against these other sources of data they're getting. And if the 2 don't perfectly match up, they think the application is fraud and they deny the loan. This is why you need to be here, because what happens is if you don't know what's on LexisNexis, if you don't know what the lenders are seeing, you'll never be able to correct your front-facing application or your LexisNexis data to be the same. And if those two aren't the same, lenders immediately suspect fraud, and you're already behind the 8 ball, in many cases denied without even seeing if you qualify, just because of the potential scare and risk of this actually being fraud. Okay, so what is LexID? Well, LexisNexis uses a unique identifier called LexID. Connects all the data that pertains to you, both positive and negative, such as marriage and divorce records, pilot records, firearms licenses, and much more. No matter where you go, they know. So they're taking all this data that they believe belongs to you, and they're putting it on your report using this proprietary technology, LexID. So what type of address information do they have access to? Your addresses, every address you've ever owned in your entire life, every phone number you've ever had in your entire life, every mortgage you've ever had in your entire life, every speeding ticket in your entire life, every criminal record that's linked to you. And there's also bankruptcy records, any military records, okay, evictions, okay. Now, this is not usually on credit reports. Almost none of the stuff you've seen here, besides like, mortgages over the last 7 years, are on your credit report. Or, if you had good ones, there are previous ones on there as well. Your military records, eviction, a lot of the stuff is not on your commercial credit or your consumer or commercial credit reports. This is what makes them so unique. Basically, what they're doing is gathering information nobody else is, and then lenders and credit issuers are accessing this data when even you're not able to access it. So they have information on you and your business as well. Okay, they basically a report could affect your ability to buy insurance. So you ever think about that? Every time you go to apply for an insurance policy, they pull LexisNexis. That's where they get your data. And if you want to know why they're doing that credit check, they're not doing credit check to see how you pay your bills. They're doing a credit check because your LexisNexis credit report, as you'll see, shows every traffic violation you've ever had. So what they're doing is they're getting your permission to pull LexisNexis. It's not your consumer credit reports. Okay, to get a business line of credit, perform other activities essential to business success. Again, I can tell you examples, including a recent one where somebody got not denied, but got approved for an SBA loan, but then had to pay off $85,000 worth of judgments that weren't on the credit report, but were found on LexisNexis. So this information is beyond how you pay your bills. It goes to all aspects of your life. The kind of home you own, okay? Meaning what kind of home? The square footage. How many stories is it? What's the building materials of the home? All of this stuff. Okay, where you've worked during your entire life, every job you've ever had, whether you have licenses for anything and everything. Okay, LexisNexis also works with Equifax to create what's called a Power View score to determine if you're credit-worthy car buyer. So again, you aren't going to see LexisNexis directly. In this example, they're partnering with Equifax, and people that are issuing car loans would only see that information through Equifax. So LexisNexis is also used for public safety. They use information like yours to solve crimes faster. Their analysts predict and therefore prevent future crime. Okay, this data has been used to locate witnesses and find kidnapped children. They've got your criminal records and traffic tickets. They even know if you're on the sex offender list, and yes, that is on there as well. Okay, so all that information is on there as well. And this means anyone who gets your LexisNexis report can see this information as well. So again, things you need to know, because when it comes to LexisNexis, a lot of this information is available to anybody that wants it, or to anybody that has the ability to pull it. LexisNexis sends your data to a financial service company. The lender then uses the information to make lending and credit issuing decisions. Lenders will check if your loan application matches the data they're getting. If the information is inconsistent, as we talked about, they're typically going to deny it just because they think the application is actual fraud. Okay, it's also used for collections. Okay, you're not able to hide from the repo man because collection agencies are using this information. And again, they're looking at every address you've ever had, right? So even if you no longer reside at that address, like my parents' address is on my credit reports because, every address I've ever lived, they still live in the same home they did when I was younger. So again, all this information is out there. So they can move more quickly to track you down and collect more quickly as well. Now, they're also getting information and giving it to the local governments. Okay, they help them find streamline taxpayers, minimize tax fraud, maximize tax collections. So they're preventing fraud and reducing identity theft-based risk in government assistance programs. So the government is really big on using LexisNexis. I hope you're getting an idea of this, right? Insurance companies are using this. Law enforcement offices are using this. The government is using this. All these agencies that honestly have no need for your consumer credit report because it doesn't have all these details that's on LexisNexis are using this data. Okay, they also give it to the federal government. Homeland Security uses it to identify risks and threats. And you better not be in the US illegally because again, Homeland Security is using LexisNexis credit reports as well. Now, it's not even easy to opt out because your records in LexisNexis, whether you give them permission or not, they're gathering this data. Okay, now these are public records, but you can opt out if you're a victim of identity theft, which you'd have to provide a police report. You're a law enforcement official or public official, because obviously that information shouldn't be out there. Or if you're at risk of physical harm but aren't in law enforcement, you can supply a court protective order to hide that information as well. Guys, this is serious stuff. Look at that. Those are the steps you'd have to take to opt out. Okay. I mean, it's that serious. And these people in serious situations, like, for example, witness protection, they need to opt out because there's so much information on these reports. As you will see, I'm going to show you physical reports as we get in here. Then you're actually, you know what? Oh, my bad. Actually, you know what? Give me a second here. I am doing a complete V line here because what I'm realizing is I don't think that right now, and then, by the way, just everybody, I may think I have a little bit of mistake, technical difficulties here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull something up because now that I'm looking at this PowerPoint, I don't think this has the actual screenshots of what you are going to find on your LexisNexis credit report. I don't think this is my complete PowerPoint. So what I'm going to do is, if you are okay, I'm going to hold for what should be less than 2 minutes here. I'm going to find my actual credit report or my my PowerPoint here with the right one that I think has this information, because it's not here. Let's replay. Yes, it will be replayed at a later date, just so everybody know. I will get you a replay if you're sticking around to the end, just so you know. And Lex, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. So I had fired this thing up, and then I've come to realize that I think a lot of the information where I'm actually showing the physical reports might not be on here. So I want to make sure that I am right or wrong. Okay, let me see here. Exactly. Okay, volume 252. Okay, no, I think we're good. I think we're still good. I think we're not going to get to that until probably slide. Okay. All right, just wanted to make sure we are still okay. All right, so here we go. Okay, so I will show you snapshots from the actual credit report, just so you know, those things are coming up. Okay, so for a price, your business can also get information from them, converting leads, okay? I mean, you can imagine how much this information can help you, okay? If you're doing that, find incorrect phone numbers and addresses, aliases, okay? They can help you with this. So again, you could even use LexisNexis data as well to make more sales, okay? A lot of benefits there, okay? LexisNexis has account monitoring of phone numbers, addresses, bankruptcy file, deceased notifications, property data again. So this is account monitoring. So if somebody has credit cards, so credit card companies are using them. So if somebody's deceased, for example, they know that person's deceased to terminate those accounts. So a lot of examples there. Okay, getting data on businesses, such on the data on the people connected to it, relationships between the business and entities such as trust, franchise data, industry classification as well. Okay, so we investigated a typical consumer credit report, and the sheer volume of information was pretty shocking. And guys, here's how this whole thing went down. Someday, somebody mentioned to me LexisNexis, and I thought, you know, I've never actually seen my LexisNexis credit report. I got to figure that out. And so I looked into it after, I don't know, like 17 years of financial experience, and I was shocked. I got this thing. It was 260 pages is my credit report. On my Facebook Live last time, I showed the width of this thing, right? So, you know, a normal credit report might be 20, 30 pages to give you a comparison. And when I went through it, I handed it to my wife. I go, you need to see this. And she opened it, looked at the report, and was absolutely, I mean, it was such an intrusion of privacy. You feel like your privacy's been intruded on because you see the information that's out there. She was as shocked as I was. Okay, so the details are mind-boggling, and you may have forgotten a lot of it, but again, they're never going to forget this information. So the report outlines policies covering every vehicle you've ever owned, make and model of every vehicle you've ever owned, year of model, years of coverage, the VIN number, the type of coverage, the dollar amount of coverage that you've had as well. Okay, so here's what that looks like from the actual credit report. And again, some of the stuff's blocked out for obvious reasons, right? So we can see here that every vehicle that's ever been owned is here. We can see VIN numbers, we can see policy number, we can see insurance coverage. So think about this. Every insurance policy you've ever had is on your LexisNexis credit report. Every one. It says who you've been insured with. It gives you every vehicle. It gives the vehicle that was insured, the VIN number that was insured. Here's why insurance companies are pulling LexisNexis, because they're looking at all this information about every insured vehicle that you've ever had. Okay, Banco is a LexisNexis product all about bankruptcy data. So it's a way to monitor bankruptcy cases, and it covers a number of legal specifics about you, even if you've not had a bankruptcy cases on file anywhere. This includes open and closed court cases. So some of that information even comes from PACER, federal legal records, things like that. So you'll see here, bankruptcy section. You'll see event section. You'll see judgments. You'll see tax liens. All of this information's here. So why does this matter? Because the stuff can stay on your personal credit report for 10 years and it must get deleted. There's no time requirement here. So that means judgments and bankruptcies you've had that are no longer on your consumer credit report are still being seen by lenders 20 years later, whether they're accurate or not. And by the way, in that example of the person that had $85,000 worth of judgments, 72 of that was false. It was fake. It was not real. It couldn't even be found on the court records. They took one judgment, a real judgment of like 12 grand, and then they duplicated it and added one for 72,000, and it wasn't real. So you can imagine trying to get somebody an SBA loan, two judgments pop up that require to be paid off. The person's like, what the heck are these? I don't even know what the $72,000 judgment is, only to find out it's not real. The courts can't prove a negative. The attorney no longer can't do anything because nobody's representing that debt. It's a nightmare that slowed down the process for months to try to clear it, all because something was on the LexisNexis report that wasn't even accurate. So judgments, tax liens, evictions, bankruptcy indefinitely can stay on these credit reports. The report includes bankruptcies, judgments, tax liens, evictions, as we mentioned. It also includes criminal records, sex offender records, property assessor records, including county, latitude and longitude of your home. That's scary. The latitude and longitude of your home. The metropolitan statistical area, the statistical information from census data about where you actually live is on there as well. Property assessor records, subdivision name, sales price of every home you've ever owned, assessed land value, improvements value, build date, number of bathrooms, exterior wall and roof types. Here's a look at what you find with property information data on the credit report, okay? We see the assessed land value, the improved value, the total value, the market land value, the improved value, the tax exemption codes. We see the tax amount of the homes that you've lived in, every home you've ever lived in, the tax year. Okay, we see the land dimensions, the square footage of the land, the type of neighborhood, the condo name, the building name, the county code. Okay, all of this is some information about anybody or every property you've ever owned. The year the property was built, the number of buildings, the number of stories, the number of units or rooms in the home, the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms, the number of partial baths. Do you have a pool? It was a construction, exterior wall type, foundation type, roof material type. They have the type of materials that's used to buy your roof on your credit report. Every single home you've ever owned. It's insane. Okay, location features, amenities in the property. All of this is on your commercial credit report for every property you've ever owned. Okay, mortgage information, acreage, deed type, zoning. The document continues with every mortgage you've ever had as well. Okay, so again, guys, and I know if you have questions, I'm not going to neglect you. I will answer every question here before I wrap up, just so you know. So here we go. Here's every mortgage holder you've ever had, okay? The mortgage loan amount, the lender name, the sales price, the sales date, the type of mortgage, the type of lender, the transfer date, the recording date, the sales price, okay? The lot number, the block, the section of the land, the lot size, the lot acreage size, okay? The development phase of your house, okay? The tax delinquent, every year you were ever delinquent on taxes, the type of property it is, whether it's a timesharing or not, the zoning that you have. On every single property you've ever owned, this information is on that credit report. Now, there are several pages devoted to every single place you ever lived, and yes, it goes back until everywhere. I found addresses on there I do not remember. My temporary addresses when I was in the military are on there. My basic training address was on there. My tech school address was on there. I was only in these places for months, and all that information is there. Before you first lemonade stand or paper route or babysitting job, that information is there. It was there all the way back to childhood. Okay, so you can see here that here's every single address that you've ever owned in the lifetime of your actual life, or of your in your entire lifetime. Okay, so there's even more detail about residences here as well. Okay, so this includes whether a home has a finished garage, a carport, a porch, a canopy, a finished attic. Okay, so continuing information here, okay, as well on homes heating and air conditioning systems is on this credit report as well. I mean, think about this, the type of air conditioning unit and heating system you have in your home. Look at this assessment, the county tax account number, assessment building type, areas. I mean, everything, all of this information is showing on the report. Okay, land value, improvement value, the last year an assessment was done, whether the market value differs from the assessed value on your home, all right here. Here's the assessed value of your land, the assessed value of the home, again, the neighborhood type, all of that information for every home you've ever owned is on there. Okay, bankruptcies, criminal records. It also contains information about concealed carry permits for weapons. Okay, here's bankruptcy records, here's criminal records. Boom, no criminal data. You know that's right. Concealed weapons permit. So if you have a concealed weapon permit, that is on. I mean, think about this. Did you know that there's a database that lenders and credit issuers and that anybody that really has the ability and wants to go and get this data can get this? I mean, it's insane. Concealed weapons permit is out there publicly to anybody that wants to get that. The section contains information about firearms, explosive records, hunting and fishing licenses, judgments, liens records. So again, any federal arms and explosive records, okay, anything you've ever had from the Federal Bureau of Tobacco and Firearms is on your credit report. Any hunting and fishing licenses that you had. No, I'm not really a hunter and fisherman. I'm kind of a love the animals kind of guy. Not that I have anything wrong against hunting, but that's why I don't have any licenses on here. Judgments, liens, all that information is on there as well. Now, you also have the date of your marriage, the number of times you're married, the races of the participants. That's insane. You don't find that on credit reports. Date of divorce, reasons for divorce, if applicable, are on there as well. And you can see here. So here is my marriage license. You can see right there the marriage license, where married. You would see divorce records in this section, number of children. That's freaking scary. The number of children you have are on here. Here's your race. Check this out. So here's your date of birth, your age, and your race. Okay, number of times that you've been married before, or married. Period. I've only been married once, so that's on one. That's all on there as well. Okay, so you can see that both your party information, when you're married, your marriage license is on here as well. The license type, license class, watercraft that you've owned. So you can see here, I have my pilot's records, right? Because I'm a pilot, so my pilot record shows up here. But again, if you have boating license, watercraft licenses, my mortgage license showed up in this section too. So I once was a mortgage broker. My mortgage license showed up in this section as well. Sexual offender records, watercraft records if you've owned any kind of boat or jet ski. Guys, freaking scary. I mean, this information is what your lenders, credit issuers are looking at. Insurance provider, law enforcement, they're all looking at this information about you. Every commercial email you've ever had, the dates you use that email, information on FAA records, if applicable, are on here as well. You can see here, here's every single email address, every single address you can see there. First, last seen using that email is on there. FAA aircraft records has to do with any aircraft you've ever owned. So any boat you've ever owned is on here. Any aircraft you've ever owned is on here as well. The email addresses, again, were interesting because, again, in my case, I had problems because they related me back to credit repair. And I kept having this happen and not knowing why. I pulled LexisNexis and I found it there, got it removed, that I haven't run into that problem since. So every email you've ever had in your entire life is on there as well. Pilot certification level, medical certification level, applicable dates. So any kind of licenses that you've ever had. Here's FAA certifications, right? So again, in mine, This is my pilot's license, and it has to do with my what's called third class medical. I have to have a special medical license to be able to fly a plane, right? So this is addressing all of my third class medical license that's required for me to actually be able to come in and fly a plane. So all that certification, of course, if you don't fly, you probably don't have anything in the FAA section. I have a lot in that section for obvious reasons. The name of any professional license you hold, the boards the licenses came from, the number of years you've been practicing with the license, and violations of that license. We can see here that this was my mortgage license, Department of Financial Services. And again, I didn't even redact a lot of this information. So, I was like, just show it, just like white out my social and show it all. But apparently my content team came behind it and cleaned everything up. So we have here this is my mortgage license is what this is. And I think this might be my pilot's license here. But any license you've ever had, SEC brokers, you can see here, this is all my mortgage license. So any license you've ever held is on your commercial credit report as well. So we also have the name of any businesses where you're an officer, your title, data source as well. So here's business association records. So your position with the business, your active phone number, okay, the date first and last seen that you were associated with that business, the address, the business address, your subject address, all of that is on here too. So any business you've ever been associated with, why does that matter? I just gave you a perfect example. Okay, I owned a credit repair company years ago, built it, sold it. So the problem is a lot of places still pulled that data on LexisNexis, saw that association, and I had problems with merchant accounts and bank accounts. It took disputing that information, getting it removed to remove some of those problems. So again, you have to think back at every job you've ever had, every business you've ever been associated with. If you were in high risk industries, but you're not now, you could run into what I ran into. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, why do I have a problem with banks and merchant accounts and loans where they're saying I'm in an industry I'm not? There's nothing online. My credit report doesn't reflect that. And I finally figured out that it was coming from LexisNexis, and it took cleaning this up to be able to move on. Okay, the name of any colleges you've attended, your major, whether it's a public or private institution, is on here too. So here's all my education records. And by the way, this isn't just college. I don't know if it continues here. It's every school you've ever attended in your entire life. Now, I didn't see my ABC school or kindergarten, but I did see the rest of my school records on my credit report. So here's my school record, the school, the class, the field of study, which is nursing. I didn't even know I was in nursing. That makes sense. I was going for a physician assistant. 4-year college. So you can see the school type. You can see all that information. So all of your education records for every schooling you've ever had is on this credit report. Okay, this section includes every phone number you've ever had, the date it was associated with you, the date, town it's linked to. So here's every phone number. I wish they wouldn't have shut a lot of these out. I didn't mean for them to black all this stuff out because I wanted to actually go back because it brings back memories. But okay, so this is all my local stuff here in Florida, but they didn't show a lot of the stuff. They had every phone number. I mean, the phone number from when I grew up when I was a kid was on here. My phone numbers when I was in temporary housing in Texas for the Air Force was on here. So all of this information, every phone number again, and every email address you've ever held. Okay, the state where your social security number was issued, when you died, include your date, your date of death. The military borrowing record indicates if you're active military or your spouse is, or you're the dependent of someone who's active military. So we see here your SSN, date it was issued, where it was issued. All of those type of things are right here as well as your Military Lending Act. So are you active military? Is your spouse active military? All of that information is on the credit report as well. Information on every single traffic ticket you've ever gotten. It includes if you're convicted of speeding or any other moving violations, name and address. By the way, just to let you know, I assure you that this part of my credit report is not empty. It's full of a lot of stuff because I have a lead foot. That's one of my weaknesses. I am a speeder, I will admit. So all my speeding tickets, and I promise you it's not all on this one sheet. It's like 200 of my 260 pages. Not really, I'm just kidding. But I'm telling you that every violation you've ever had is on here. The last name, first name, middle, driver's license number, date of birth, social. Again, the traffic violation, what happened with that violation. You can see the source, where it came from, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So for every traffic violation you've ever had is on here, which is why insurance companies want to pull this data because they can see all that information. You can see here conviction or non-conviction. You can see unlawful speed, allegedly Okay, here you can also see where it took place. You can see the date of the eviction. You can see all that stuff was on here as well. Okay, so you've got to do this. Now, why does this matter? Because we had an SBA loan that actually had a problem. It wasn't, the person didn't have criminal records, but what they had was like it was like a DUI or a DWI or something, and whatever that is in between. Like they didn't commit a crime, but it wasn't like considered a traffic violation. It was like a misdemeanor. It was a misdemeanor. So it was a misdemeanor because it was like DUI, like driving on suspended license. They had 2 misdemeanors that showed on their LexisNexis credit report. They said, hey, look, I've never had been, on the SBA application, I've never been convicted of anything. And then the lender came back and said, we need you to write a letter. You said you were never convicted of anything. Write a letter about these 2 misdemeanors. Here's what's crazy. The applicant had no idea of the misdemeanors. The misdemeanors that were being talked about were over 20 years old. The person didn't even remember them. So then they had to go and do a background check. Think about this. This is how crazy it is. They had to do a background check on themselves to figure out what their own misdemeanors were to even write the letter of explanation to the lender explaining why they had these misdemeanors that they couldn't even remember, that the lender knew about, that they didn't know about. How did the lender know about? They pulled LexisNexis, and the misdemeanors showed on the credit report. So it's not even, criminal activity that you're up to. It's your misdemeanors throughout your entire past. I mean, imagine answering for misdemeanors on a loan application for your business that you did when you were 19, 20. Okay, and that's exactly what was one of the things. So I'm telling you and showing you the data that's here, and I'm giving you example after example after example of, in our world of lending, why we've seen people get turned down, extra steps, jump through all these extra hoops because of this. Now, in that case, the lender was nice enough to let them write the letter of explanation, but it made them lose credibility with the lender because they said they didn't. And in the letter of explanation, they said, I don't know. I don't even remember these. Honestly, I had to do a search to even remember them. Here's what happened, made a mistake, but they even had to account for why they weren't upfront. They just didn't know. Okay, what your business, want your business to be lent on its merits and not on the basis of where you went to college 20 years ago, well, then you've got to build business credit, right? So we just got a really good look at what's on LexisNexis credit report. And what I'm going to do is teach you now. Well, it looks like we still have time here, I'm going to actually go through, talk to you a little bit about building business credit, how you can help you with LexisNexis. And I'm also then going to jump in. I want to show you how our customers build business credit. But the reason I want to do that is because the very first step that we take of helping our customers build business credit is to cross-check their data against sources like LexisNexis to actually see if the information is accurate or not. As a matter of fact, we are the only company that exists that has a relationship with LexisNexis to produce a front-facing score. We've partnered with LexisNexis to get all this data and bring it front-facing, so then that way you can actually cross-check your information against it to make sure that you're even lendable or if there are discrepancies. And this happened again because when I got my LexisNexis, I freaked out. I was like, this is insane. How can I have spent 17 years in credit and not known about this? Immediately called LexisNexis and said, why aren't you giving your data to consumers? Like, this should be front-facing. And LexisNexis surprisingly said, wow, we've wanted to take our data and make it front-facing forever, but nobody's been willing to take on that task. We're like, we'll do that. Partnership agreement, we're done. Let's do it. We are producing a fundability score right now to actually make it where you can see how fundable you are against LexisNexis data, because this is what we do as a company. We believe in transparency. You need to know what the lenders and credit issuers know. It's not fair for them to make all these decisions on data that you don't even know exists. You need to have an even playing field and see the data so you can do something about it. And building business credit is one of those ways you can do it. You can start building business credit, and in doing so, one of the first steps is to make sure that you're accessing this LexisNexis data, which we'll talk about, disputing it, and then being able to make sure that your application data meets that information. So remember, we're talking about business credit. You could do this even as a nonprofit, even if you don't have cash flow, even if you don't have credit, even if you don't have collateral, okay? And the reason I talk about business credit is because, look, LexisNexis can get in your way in a lot of cases. It can prevent you from getting loans. It makes it easier or more difficult to get financing, especially if you have credit issues. So by building business credit, you're building this asset, you're controlling the reputation and persona you have out there, and giving yourself the best shot of getting financing. Now, for those that don't know what business credit is, you can see some examples here of people getting credit cards. So here's a lot of what I see in my world of people getting these kind of credit cards: 10,000 here, 10,000 at Apple, 6,000 with Amazon, 12,500 with Apple, 8,500 without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check. So here's a $17,000 Amazon line of credit, 4,000 here. So again, this is the type of credit that you're able to get regardless of personal credit, without a guarantee. You're able to get it regardless of cash flow, credit collateral, all the other things that you need to get money elsewhere, you don't need to be able to get all this kind of credit. So again, if your goal is to come in here and be able to get money to fund your business, well, then you're able to come in and build business credit, start getting money really quickly to fund your business. Okay, it's not as used. Remember, a lot of the lenders are using SBFE, but a lot of these credit issuers aren't. So they're not accessing LexisNexis. They're not adding SBFE. So financing and loans and credit lines become more difficult to get with LexisNexis and SBFE, but you are still seeing a lot of automated and very fast $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 approvals using business credit, regardless of this data. So while we're cleaning up LexisNexis, which we will talk about, then you're also able to build business credit and still get financing while you're cleaning up LexisNexis, which may prevent you from getting other kind of loans. Here's a $20,000 with $20,000 here with Amex, and you can see no PG means no personal guarantee. Okay, here's another $20,000 approval, a $50,000 approval, $10,000 at Dell. This is the kind of credit you're able to really get without the personal guarantee and credit check, and still able to do this no matter what's going on with LexisNexis, because a lot of these credit issuers are using computers that aren't digging in and processing all LexisNexis data for approvals. And here's one of our clients, Christine, who's actually now over $1 million of credit that she's actually received. Here's some of her initial approvals, and they started getting higher and higher. The highest limit that she's ever been given is $300,000 to date. She says here, these are just a few of my cards. If you follow Ty Crandall program, you'll get what you need. And you can see here that here's the sum of her approvals. Here's 80,000 in revolving credit on one of her business credit report. Here's her listing some of her many trade lines that she has, more accounts showing on her business credit report. So Christine, interesting story. Credit issues, struggling to get a business off the ground, and wasn't able to get loans, wasn't able to get financing. The LexisNexis, that data was all a mess, so it was preventing her from getting stuff. Started building business credit with a few companies, didn't succeed, tried on her own, didn't succeed, ran into us, got started, and we started getting her approvals fairly quickly. Last time her and I physically talked, she was looking at buying a 45 truck operation. She's got over $1 million in business credit. She's opened a second business. She now has 2 different companies, multiple trucks on the road, and she's crushing it. So again, this is why I do what I do, because I see entrepreneurs like her where the system has beat her down and not let her get money. And then we're able to come in, build business credit, help her start getting the money she needs, then fix LexisNexis, correct this stuff, and then get her to a point where she can get loans and credit lines where now she has a business that's really taken off. And again, you can start to see just, again, more and more and more of her approvals. Here's a couple of our clients, too, that went through something similar with LexisNexis. We went to our bank to get a business loan and line of credit. They turned us down. We got started with Credit Suite, set up our business credibly, and built our business credit. After following these steps, we've now secured over 96 grand in business credit cards and just applied for the Platinum Amex and got approved instantly with no limit. Now we have 4 to 5 different companies call us every day trying to get us money, and that's a really good problem to have. We're excited, and if you don't have business credit yet, you should get involved with Credit Suite to have the same results. So here's a story with them. Started a business, $1,200, sold an old pickup truck and a flat screen TV to start the business. They got denied for the loan and credit line, as you saw here, came to us, started building business credit. What we found was that the SBFE had a discrepancy with their address. They had their address different with the Secretary of State than what they put on the application. Very slight difference, but it was different, and that caused them to get denied at the bank. We fixed the discrepancy, and in doing so, they turned around and immediately got approved. They got that loan that they got turned down for because of an actual address difference on the application, an address difference. We just had somebody the other day that got denied with Staples because their phone number didn't match the records. And they asked the source, what records are you talking about? They didn't know. We told them, we said, we'll tell you exactly where they are. They're SBFE. Pull LexisNexis, and sure enough, that's the discrepancy. So again, fixing these small discrepancies, I could tell you case after case after case, turns denial from approval. But what's interesting is most people applying and getting denied don't even realize that they're not getting denied because they don't qualify. They're actually turning around and getting denied because of this discrepancies. So let me kind of give you an idea of how this looks for our clients, okay? I want to show you not only just how they build business credit, but what I really like to do is actually walk through and show you this first step, because this really becomes the very first step you should take, whether you're working for us, with us or not, to build business credit and get financing. So a credit suite, I like to say that we do one thing. We help you get capital, and we do it 3 different ways. The very first thing we do is help you set up your business where it's fundable. And this is what we're talking about with LexisNexis data. It's all about understanding what lenders and credit issuers are looking for, and then setting up your business credibly to meet those standards so you'll get approved. Now, this happens 2 ways. First, it happens by just following steps to make sure that you actually done what they're looking for to see that you're credible. And the other part of this is to search against these records to make sure that your information is the same as what these credit issuers and lenders are pulling. So when we talk about your business name, for example, you'd want to set up your business where you're not in a high-risk industry, where the name reflects you're not in a high-risk industry. Now you can see this is our business finance suite where you can build business credit, get financing. It's all done through short videos that kind of walk you through everything. You could do it in English, or you can see right here, I can change the whole thing. Voila, it's all in Spanish now. I don't speak Spanish yet. I soon will, but so I'm going to switch it back to English. So the very first thing you want to do is you're going to want to access some restricted industries to figure out, like this, the industries that you want to avoid. You don't want these kind of industries in your name, because lenders that could throw up red flags. Okay, you want to search your state records and make sure that you can get a name that's available. So you want to avoid those names that indicate you're high risk. You want to set up your business address where it's credible. You want to get a physical address for your business, or a virtual address, or you want to use a home address at last resort. But you need to be careful, because nowadays your home address is showing on Google Street View, so you need to make sure you don't do that. You also need to make sure that you avoid PO boxes and UPS addresses as well. You can see our finance suite has options to be able to get virtual addresses, and walks you through how to set up that business address credibly. You want to set up that business entity, preferably a corporation or an LLC. You want to set up your phone number, have a toll-free number, and the phone number needs to be listed with 411. Now, the reason it needs to be listed with 411 is you can't go to 411 and list your own phone number. As a matter of fact, 411 is not 411.com. So actually, we have an option here for our clients where in one click you can say, yes, you want your number listed, list the number, and we list it for you. We use a service called List Yourself. List Yourself is $360 a year to list your phone number. This is so important. We pay it for our clients, because we know if they don't do this, they're going to get denied a ton of financing. You want to make sure you have a professional website and an email address. You want to get your EIN set up. You want to set up your business license, your bank account, okay, your merchant account. And you also need to make sure that all this information is congruent. Okay, now, again, if you're doing all this on your own, it becomes very important. This is the most important step to getting credit and capital, is to make sure you've set up the business credibly, and then cross-check all your information. Check your online listings. Is your name the same? Is your phone number the same? Is your address the same? Is it the same with Secretary of State of what you're putting on your application? This is what's getting most people denied, so you need to do that. Okay, now if you're working with us, our advising team is calling you 5 times the first 5 days, and then regularly after that, and working with our clients to make sure you get through this quickly, because if you make sure that your business is set up credibly, you fix a lot of things that turn around and get you denied. Okay, and I mentioned that Christine had a bunch of issues that once fixed started getting financing. Okay, when I showed you the samples, they got denied for a loan, fixed one thing, turned around and got approved. It wasn't that they didn't qualify. The problem was that they had discrepancies with all this LexisNexis SBFE data that lenders were pulling, that once we got the application to jive with that other data, they're able to get approved. Now, if you do this, well, what do you do next? Well, the next thing you really want to do is get set up with the reporting agencies. Now, you need to know the problem in commercial credit reporting is that you'll be issued failing scores with Experian and Equifax, even if you have 0 credit. The fact that you have no credit is what causes you to fail. And this is a large reason people come into us. They come into us freaking out because they got denied for financing based on business credit quality, and we pull their business credit reports and there's nothing there. So what you need to do is see if the reporting agencies know you exist now. Remember, they are 3 of the 4 sources. LexisNexis is the 4th, getting information from Small Business Finance Exchange, SBFE. So you need to see what they're getting from SBFE, and to do that, you want to get set up with the reporting agencies in step 2. So in step 2, we're helping you get your DUNS number easily. Boom, apply for DUNS, you get it. You don't have to pay Dun & Bradstreet the $1,200 they're going to try to charge you to get it. You get it right here without paying a dime, okay? You're able to come in and get set up with Experian and Equifax and do these free searches with them to see if they even know you exist. And if you then find things that are inaccurate, we're even helping you through our technology and through our team to fix those inaccuracies. If you're doing it on your own, you want to do it on your own. You want to fix the inaccuracies. Don't just get your business credit reports and go, oh yeah, there's Nexus negative stuff there. Fix them. Same with LexisNexis. You want to dispute that information. You want to fix that. Now, our advising team will help you get your LexisNexis credit reports. You don't have to work with our advising team. You can Google how to get LexisNexis credit reports. I think you might even be able to get them at creditsuite.com. Let me see if I have them here. LexisNexis. Let me see if I do. I don't even know if I have something here. No, I don't. So you can Google how to get a LexisNexis credit report. Now, our team helps you with that too, okay? We'll also help you with getting a check systems credit report. And the reason we're going to help you with LexisNexis, the reason we're going to help you with check systems is because check systems is a whole other system we haven't talked about on this webinar. That is a whole credit report and score. By the way, yes, scores of how you manage your bank account. Do you overdraw your bank account? How much money you got going in, going out? Your entire banking history is in another institution report and score that's used by banks as well. And that is through a check system. So our team will even help you get the LexisNexis. We'll even help you through the process of getting check systems without paying a dime for those reports. Now, again, I thought I put a link up at creditsuite.com/LexisNexis. I don't see that I did. But if you do a search on how to get LexisNexis credit report, you'll see a physical form you can fill out. You fill it out and mail it in, and within 30 days, they'll send you that report. Now, once you've got set up with the reporting agencies, if you're building business credit, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start getting initial credit to your business credit reports. Now, with us, there's actually 3 different ways to establish initial business credit. We have a funding program here in Finance My Business that's actually called unsecured business financing. It's credit lines you can get up to 150 grand that all, even as a startup, even as a nonprofit, that report to the business credit reporting agency. So if you have good credit or a good credit guarantor, you can get up like 50, 100, 150,000 in actual credit lines, and that report to the business credit reporting agencies and start doing it there. We now have a new advanced credit monitoring platform that now allows you, by the way, first time in history this is possible. Okay, this is why we're working behind the scenes to help make this easier for you guys to get money. You can now add utilities you already have for the first time in history to your business credit reports. You can add them to Experian, and you can add them to CreditSafe. Okay, and you can add your electric, your water, your power, your cell phone, your rent, your lease, none of which you can add to D&B and anywhere else. We now have a way you can do that. So you can start building business credit by taking accounts you already have and adding them to your business credit reports, or you can use what's called vendor credit. These are credit issuers here, like you have a lot of sources that you see here. We have a lot more than you'll find typically elsewhere, but sources like, establishing connection. That's actually my bad because I'm having internet issues on my end right now. So here's Uline. I'm having an issue there too. So these sources here, God, my internet is so slow today. My last webinar shut me off completely. So these are sources that will give you credit when you actually have none. Okay, they actually will tell you where it reports to, because again, when you're building business credit, you want to have payment experiences. The more accounts you have reporting to the more reporting agencies, the more payment experiences you have, the faster you move through the business credit building process. So we tell you where every source reports to. Okay, we tell you the type of terms and whether you qualify or not. So that way you're only ever applying for vendors that you actually need. So we give you 3 different ways that you can actually establish business credit. Now, once you've got that business credit, now we've got to start monitoring your business credit reports. You're not going to monitor LexisNexis, but what we are going to do is monitor D&B, Equifax, and Experian, the other 3 vendors that are getting information from LexisNexis and also from SBFE. So we're helping you set up credit monitoring with all of those services as well. Now, just so you know, we also are able to do this. We integrate with, we have a NAV integration, and that NAV integration will actually get you credit monitoring instead of going to the reporting agency. So Dun & Bradstreet, for example, for credit monitoring is $149 a month. Experian for credit monitoring is about $49 a month. So let's see here. We can go to D&B to actually see how much they are, and you'll be able to see here. We click here, we'll see how much D&B's credit monitoring actually is, okay? And you're able to come in here and actually see that you can pay about $149, $14.99 or $149 a month is how much it is to actually access D&B. So this is how much it actually takes to come in and to be able to actually get D&B's credit reports. But if you're getting Experian, it's $49. If you are coming in and you're actually working with us, then what you're able to do is you're able to come in through your credit monitoring link, and you're able to get Experian and D&B for only $24 a month. So here's what you're looking at: your Experian score, where you rank against other businesses. Here's all the information. Again, coming from LexisNexis, coming from SBFE. You need to know this. This is why a lot of people get denied. This is the information that when it's incongruent, you end up getting denied for financing, okay? So what we're doing here is giving you all that information, factors influencing your score, summaries of how you pay, or how you pay, all the actual information from tax records, and all the public records information is on here as well. You're able to look at specifics for all the accounts that you have. So this is our NAV integration, and the nice thing here is this is only $24 a month, 24, versus spending $200, $149 and $49 with Experian and Equifax, or Experian and D&B Direct. You don't really need to monitor Equifax. The reason for that is because so few people report or pull Equifax. It's Experian and D&B that you need to see. You can see your D&B score, your DUNS number, all that information. You can set up alerts to get notified when things change. You can look at your accounts. All of this with D&B and Experian, especially including this information that they're getting from LexisNexis, etc. Why does this matter? Because, for example, SIC codes and NAICS codes, I see a lot of people denied because of this information, and it could be disputed and fixed. I did this with Experian. Experian had an SIC code we didn't like, and I disputed it. I said, that's wrong. Here's our proper SIC code. They came back and go, yeah, sorry. We got that information from elsewhere. I go, I know where you got the information from. And so far, here's my Dun & Bradstreet report. Here's my Equifax report. They have it right. And here's my Secretary of State records. They have it right as well. And here's my tax return. So the IRS has it right. So far in this picture, you're the only one that's wrong, and they fixed it. So this is the type of things that we help our clients do with disputing it, because that SIC code put us in a high-risk industry, whereas the SIC code that we actually have keeps us away from a high-risk industry. So this is the reason you need to access that information. And again, the nice thing through our credit monitoring, it's only $24 to do so. Now, once you have a handful of accounts, and remember, I talked to you about 3 different ways you can establish initial business credit, then you're starting to get revolving credit. And then that's just a reward, right? I mean, this is just revolving credit at almost anywhere you want it. Now, you'll see that learn more is here instead of apply, because I'm showing you what it looks like in our system when you don't have enough trade lines to qualify. Our system will tell you you don't qualify, so you don't waste your time. Most people spend about 2 to 3 years building business credit. Our clients get it done in 4 to 6 months. That's insane. How is it so fast? Because of stuff like this, by telling you who they report to helping you build trades faster, by telling you what their underwriting requirements, what it takes to actually get approved, by letting you come in here. So for example, every source has this: who it reports to, the description of what they sell, the actual underwriting guidelines. This is stuff you don't get anywhere. We actually have relationships with the underwriters at every single one of these sources. We have a whole data team that's all they do all day, every day, is get this details and verify it again and again and again and again, because this is what matters. Imagine this. Think of it like It's an open book test. That's exactly what it is. Instead of trying to go to apply for a credit card and having no idea what it takes to get approved, we tell you exactly what it takes to get approved. And then if you don't meet the criteria, we don't even tell you to apply. We're telling you not to apply because you're not going to meet that actual criteria. Okay. So then this way, you're only ever applying for credit that you're actually really going to be able to get. And that's where people mess up. People build business credit, don't know if they can get approved. They apply, they wait, they get denied, they apply somewhere else, they get denied, and they waste tremendous amounts of time. You can see here that from Shell to Office Depot to Tractor Supply to Lowe's to Amazon, Sears, almost every major retailer you can think about is available here. And we're telling you through rounds of credit to apply, how many you need to apply for so you could build that business credit report. Here's a bunch of other ones too. PNC Bank, Ally, you can get auto vehicle financing without a guarantee and credit check. You can see MasterCards here, and Visa cards, and all kinds of credit that you're able to get without a personal guarantee. Now, again, there's a lot of sources out there that don't report to the reporting agencies, but they still provide real value to you. So an example is Costco or AT&T. An example is Ford. An example is Sprint or Apple. These sources will all give you credit even when you have none, but they don't report it to the reporting agency. So we're giving you them as well. This is one of the best credit lines, by the way, I've ever seen that we help all of our clients get. And then if you don't mind a personal guarantee, just to open up the door for more credit, then we have all that too. All kinds of credit that you're able to get without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check. And again, we have all these safeguards by telling you what you qualify and what you don't. So you're only applying for what you can get. Barclays and on and on and on. And the finance suite also has all different types of financing as well. So we have a finance team that works with every kind of legitimate financing that's out there. Collateral-based financing. So if you have equipment inventory, if you have account receivables, if you have stocks, bonds, 401ks, IRAs, anything like that, we can get you financing, usually rates under 5%. As a startup, we can get you up to $150,000 with unsecured business financing if you have good credit or a guarantor that does. And you're also able to come in and get cash flow financing if you have a cash flow, real estate financing, private equity. We work with over 1,000 lenders in every legitimate funding program. We help you get all the money you can get now. Also, a lot of times pieced together from multiple sources to get you more. Then we develop what's called a finance blueprint, and we tell you the steps to get to the next level, which is usually term loans and line of credit. Then the next level is SBA loans. What we find is we do a lot of SBA loans, guys. And the reason that most people don't get SBA loans is they think they're harder to get than they are. We help people understand what it takes to get the SBA and then help them as they're growing the business, build the business in a way where they can get SBA a short time thereafter. And we're knocking out $350,000 SBA loans like they're going out of style. I mean, and to tell you why, they're fairly easy to get. The loan term's 10 years, and you're able to get a $325,000 loan for under $4,000 a month. Think about that. 325 grand, boom, delivered in your bank account, and all you're paying is less than 4 grand a month. So we help you graduate to that level as well. And then, of course, for any of our clients that actually have an interest of coming in and offering business credit financing as a service, we do all that as well. We're the only company out there with a reseller program, a partner program that puts you in the business of actually offering business credit and financing. So we walk you through everything you need to know to actually offer business credit financing. So we actually have what's called partner basic training here. That's step-by-step videos that walks you through everything you need to know to offer business credit financing as a service, which, by the way, is pretty simple. We teach you what you need to do to sell it, or we do the selling. You just simply refer the customer to us. We do the selling, and you can still make up to $1,250 just for the referral. It's crazy. And then we give you every resource you could possibly need here as well to offer business credit and financing as a service, including not this webinar, but the last LexisNexis webinar I did about LexisNexis. All those PowerPoints are in here. So all my PowerPoints are accessible that I've ever done. As a matter of fact, our partners get my PowerPoints when I do YouTube live about a month to 2 months before I even do it. You're getting all my resources. So there's PowerPoints in here. There's flyers, ebooks, free reports, guides. There's, contracts and agreements, almost anything you could possibly need. And a lot of these are available in Spanish as well as English, and they're all professionally done. So you can see here the quality of material. The flyers, for example, in the beginning, we spent $400 a flyer to get done. So all professionally done. And then this is all the resources you would need to actually market and sell business credit and financing as a service, including videos. So you can see here we have all that talking money. I love the talking money video. That's awesome because it's talking money. So that's cool. You can never go wrong with a talking money video. See if that thing pops up. Okay, watch this guy. I love this guy. It's one of my favorite videos. Isn't that cool? You can't hear him, you can see him. So anyways, all these different kind of professional videos, that's just a funny one, but we have a lot of other ones that talk about Experian, things like that. These are all so every resource you possibly need to offer business credit and financing as a service, when you're working with us, you can get all access to all that as well. And basically, if you've got two people that that are interested, you can see here in Spanish, you're basically covering yourself if you're enrolling. So I wanted to show you all that as well. So back to the topic at hand. Now, again, LexisNexis, as I mentioned, you can get LexisNexis reports. I thought I had a link up at creditsuite.com/LexisNexis, but I don't see it. So do a simple Google search about getting a LexisNexis report. You'll have a physical sheet you can fill out to get that done. Again, our clients, we're working with our clients to help them get LexisNexis. We'll work with our clients to help you also get the check systems report. You need that as well. So let's take a look at Marlon. I was looking for a fast way to get money to grow my consumer credit business. After failing to get approved with loans at several banks, I discovered CreditSuite. After getting initial vendor accounts, I continued applying, getting all types of credit. Now have over 100 business credit cards in my wallets with totaling over $1 million in available credit. I have fleet credit I use for auto repairs and fuels. I have cash credit with most major banks, including Bank of America and Wells Fargo. I secured almost all of it without a personal credit check or guarantee. I've also been able to get loans of many sources, including PayPal, Cabbage, low rates. So look, and loan amounts of 100 grand. There's three things that we do. We help you become fundable, right? And like I said, we've now partnered with LexisNexis to get their data streaming in. And by the end of the year, this year, our main goal this year, probably summer or fall, is to release what's called a fundability score that all of our clients will have access to. The fundability score takes all of your data from LexisNexis and all the data from your application. It just puts it side by side. And then it gives you a check mark whether or not the data you have matches LexisNexis data. And if it doesn't match, we help you with the discrepancy to get it corrected, so you will. That's something that's going to be rolling out this later year, that's going to be baited first with our clients the first time that it actually comes out. So there's three things we do. We help you become more fundable. This LexisNexis, knowing all this behind the scenes stuff and correcting all this stuff, as you saw with Marlon, as you saw with the samples, as you saw with Christine, it was getting all that stuff fixed that helped them turn around and get loans. We're also helping you build business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your social. And then we're also helping you with that third aspect of getting all different types of loans and credit lines as well. Okay, so if you're watching this, and you're probably looking for the easiest way to be able to get money for your business. Okay, you probably have already struggled to get money before at good terms, and you're looking for a simple solution. Well, look, with us, you're getting business credit for your business that's not linked to your social. And this is the top rating system, okay, that exists. We're now at about 20,000 clients that we've actually helped through this process. And you're getting access to all funding in one place, okay? We're one of the only companies out there that takes all funding and puts it in one place. You can do it in English and or Spanish, okay? And we're helping you get fundable. Okay, we're helping you set up your business to avoid the high-risk SIC codes. We're helping you get up your entity set up and EIN the right way. The business address credibility check to make sure that all that information is congruent. Your phone number credibility check, making sure that's congruent. Also getting you listed with 411. Your website email address, making sure that meets lending and credit issuing standards. Making sure that it's all in line for compliance, including licenses, your bank account, your merchant account. We're checking it all to make sure it's meeting lending and credit issuing standards and that you don't have discrepancies there. We're helping you get set up with all three reporting agencies and getting your DUNS number set up without paying DMB a dime to do it. You saw it was $14.99 is what they wanted to be able to get started with them. And again, you don't have to pay that here. You don't have to pay monthly, or you don't have to pay that $1,500. We're also helping you fix inaccuracies with all three reporting agencies. Remember, they're getting data from LexisNexis. They're getting data from SBFE. By fixing that information, then what's happening is we're making it easier for you to get financing as well. We're giving you the largest supply of starter vendors. And remember, there's three different ways to build the initial business credit. One, you're not even going to find anywhere else. The ability to add utilities to your business credit reports. We have a massive selection, which, by the way, if you are getting that credit monitoring, it's $99 a month to be able to add unlimited trade lines to your Experian credit report. I want to clarify that so you don't think that that's normally part of our enrollment. It's, again, typically $99 to be able to add unlimited accounts and monitor credit safe Experian and DMB, which again, DMB charges $150 just to monitor the report. For less than $100, you're able to get all those things. Massive selection of store credit, cash credit, fleet credit, auto vehicle financing, all without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check. Plus, you're accessing all kinds of financing, the cash flow financing where credit and collateral don't matter. Asset-based financing, interest rates below 2% if you have some kind of collateral. Unsecured business financing up to 150 grand. We talked about that works for startups. Private money, alternative SBA, and don't forget, we're working with you to develop a finance blueprint so you can then also start qualifying for SBA loans. Now, with our partner program, we're giving you everything you need to offer business credit financing as an entire business. Basic training, exclusive webinars. Guys, I do a webinar for our partners every single week. I've missed, I don't know, less than 10 weeks in the course of over 6 years. We have hundreds, like 250 webinars where I'm teaching you how to run a business, how to advertise, how to do Facebook ads, how to do Google ads, how to set up a massive action plan. None of that, it's all closed. It's only available to our actual clients. So if you like my free stuff, you should see the stuff that our partners get that walk you through all aspects of running and growing a business. Okay, what we do is we use Credit Suite as the case study. And nothing is off limits with our partners. We openly tell our partners everything about how we're building the business, how we're advertising. When we find things that work, we tell them exactly how to do what we found that works, whether it be direct mail, Facebook, Google, podcast advertising. We also tell you what doesn't work and help save you a bunch of time you can use for your primary industry, or if you're doing this as your primary. 20 videos, you're getting webinars, you're getting PowerPoints and articles and marketing flyers and your own website. You're getting your own 8-page website. You're getting the ability to just send customers in and let us do all the work. Sales scripts, ebooks, press releases, everything you need. It's like a franchise without the hefty franchise fee. Now, we have an executive partner subscription that's voluntary that if you decide to get, it's $99 a month. You get paid 50% of whatever we get paid on all funding. One funding deal could pay you $2,000. I saw a check the other day for 10 grand that went out. Finance videos, finance flyers, client dashboard, the ability to add salespeople. The salespeople have their own unique training, their own resources. It's a franchise. It's an entire business in a box, again, without paying the hefty franchise fee. So look, if you're interested in working with us, if you're interested in us helping you build your fundability and coming in and figuring out all the stuff that's happening behind the scenes with SBFE and LexisNexis and getting all that stuff in line to give you the best chance of getting financing and building business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your social, that doesn't matter if you have collateral or cash flow or credit, and accessing all financing in one place and a team that helps you develop a finance blueprint to get into SBA loans, then I want to at least give you an opportunity, because you stuck with me today, to be able to do two things: get a discount and get some pretty cool, really cool bonuses. So if you look on our website, it's about $7,100 to work with us on our top plan. I got two options for you today. Our core program is to get business credit financing. You don't want to offer it. You don't want to sell it. You don't want to be a partner. If you're interested in that core program, 7 payments of $497. It's normally $597. Now, if that's not affordable, no worries. I just need you to talk to us. If you communicate with us about what's affordable, I have packages that we don't even advertise that may work for you, and we will customize payment plans for you as well. And we have sources that will finance it for you, and we can get you financing. So don't let the price be a barrier if you think it makes sense to work with us. You can also do one payment of $24.97 and save 20%. You can also enroll to get business credit financing and be a partner, and it's 7 payments of only $597, $100 more, and you can do it for one payment of $34.97. You get all that stuff to actually be a partner as well. So look, it's going to take you at least 2 years typically to do this on your own. Where our clients, it's about 6 months. So you have to ask yourself, if you get money sooner, 18 months sooner, what does that mean for your life? I don't know. And you're going to pay a lot more. Remember, we're giving you the 411 listing. We're helping you get set up with Dun & Bradstreet. We're saving you over $2,200 a year on credit monitoring. So even trying to build business credit on your own is going to be more expensive than working with us. And the beautiful thing is, working with us, it's not just like you're using our technology, which is awesome, by the way, but you're also working with our advisors and our finance team to help you with all aspect of building business credit and getting financing as well. Don't forget, we'll customize a payment plan for you. Do not call us, not contact us because you think the payment I showed you is too expensive. We'll customize one for you. We work with services like Fundbox Pay and others that will finance it for you and offer you very affordable payments. Okay, we have a source right now that's under $250 a month. I think it's less than $200 a month that you can actually get payments through. We have a funding source that will finance it for you, okay? So there's options there. We can help you get financing to enroll as well, and we also offer options that are not on our website. So again, don't let affordability be a barrier, because we have all kinds of options we haven't even talked about. 877-600-2487. We'll talk to you about that. Completely risk-free. You get everything if you're making payments, even with your first payment. We give you access to everything. Our advisors are calling you 5 times the first 5 days. You're getting it all right up front because we know you're going to love it. Okay, and we're giving you a guarantee. Bottom line, if you don't think that what you're getting is worth every penny, or that you'll be able to make many times that of what you spent with our partner program, then we give you a 100% money back guarantee, 30 days. Period. 30 days, test it out, work with our advisors, go through our technology, see how you like us setting up your fundability, helping you get business credit, helping you get financing. And if you're not interested and don't want to work with us, boom, here's 100% of your money back. Don't think we'll do it? Look at our credibility. Okay, we had some crazy lady that disputed something on her credit monitoring for $24. Outside of that, which I don't understand, because then she said she was wrong, or they disputed removed all the comments, but they still left the fact that she actually had the concern on the Better Business Bureau. But we've never had an actual client buy and leave a complaint anywhere online. You can see we have hundreds of reviews online. We were rated one of the top 365 entrepreneurial companies in the country by Entrepreneur Magazine earlier this year, like 2 months ago. So you'll see. Best entrepreneurial company in America in 2018 by Entrepreneur. You can see that at credibility at creditsuite.com/credibility. Here's us being named on Entrepreneur's website for that award. Here's some of our many approvals you'll see on our website. We literally have hundreds there. You'll see we're 5-star rated with Trustpilot. That's a joke. 113 reviews. I think we're not double that, but a lot more. You can see that we don't just have reviews. These are the kind of reviews that we actually have. Highly recommend Credit Suite. I've enjoyed working with David White's team. They're all very detailed. You can see we have So Tell Us with hundreds of reviews more. You'll see that we're A+ with the BBB, and we are not accredited. Boom. We haven't paid them a dime of money. If you pay the BBB money, they give you an A+. We don't pay them money, and we're still an A+ because we don't have complaints against our company. And I'm everywhere. You can find me on Inc., Entrepreneur. You can find all that stuff, Forbes on the website, as well as a ton of testimonials. So look, if you go to creditsuite.com/webinar, this is the place to go. You're going to find 2 options: Core to build business credit and get financing. And then you also have VIP here if you're interested in offering business credit and financing as a service. All you have to do is literally click Buy It Now. You're going to find the payment options, the one pay option on the order form. You simply complete the order form, complete the information here, select your option, and you're done. You have immediate access. We'll send you your login credentials. I'm also giving you some bonuses that you really are going to want to know about. A 30-minute call with our advising team. We'll spend 30 to 60 minutes on your initial call. My goal on call 1 is to get you through step 1, get you through the fundability step. Bonus 2, 90 days of monitoring with D&B Experian. Remember how I told you it was only $24 a month? I'm going to give you 3 months for free. If you went to Experian to get the credit monitoring, it's $50. If you went to D&B, it's going to be $150. So that means they will charge you $200 a month for credit monitoring. I just gave you 3 months for free. What they would charge you $600 for, you're getting at absolutely no cost as a bonus. Okay, and it's only $24 a month after that. I'm going to give you a 28-page valuation report. Yes, that happens in your back office too. I never showed you that, but if you actually come in here, you can go in to get your valuation done on your business, which I do not have that option here. For some reason on my actual thing, but you actually can come in and get a valuation for your business at any time to see how much your business is worth, and I'm giving you a 28-page report for that. You're also able to come in and get a ready to publish book. Okay, 697 books. It's my book. It's Business Credit Decoded. So if you're going to be in financial services, you can become a published author overnight. And then one of my buddies wrote this, Lance Edwards, How to Invest in Small Apartments. It's an actual physical book. So I don't know. I mean, maybe you want to invest in small apartments, maybe you don't, but I loved his book, and I asked him if he would mind giving that away to our clients, and he said no problem. So that's what we did. So to recap, you're getting your own finance suite with 24/7 access, concierge support with our advising team, free DUNS number, credit activation with D&B, Equifax, and Experian largest supply of vendors, revolving credit, fleet credit. Fleet credit, by the way, is where you get fuel, repairs, maintenance of vehicles. Dispute fix inaccuracies with all 3 reporting agencies, auto vehicle financing, credit monitoring. Remember, you're getting that bonus, which I'll talk about in a minute, $600 worth of free, and then only 24 month after that. Cash flow and collateral financing starting at 2% rates. Up to $150,000 in unsecured financing if you have good credit or a guarantor. Finance officer support, free 411 listing, which saves you $360. Hard to get access to cash credit sources. These are Visa cards, MasterCards you can use anywhere. I love hearing people say that these don't exist when we have tons of them in the back office. So improving your fundability, again, that LexisNexis, all that data that becomes very important. And don't forget, with our partner program, you're basically just getting everything you need: videos, webinars, emails, exclusive webinars, articles, PowerPoints, your own website, videos, Spanish materials, contracts, agreements, sales scripts, everything, your own information to host seminars and events. And then don't forget, we're giving you 30 to 60 minutes with our advising team, 90 days of credit monitoring, which saves you $600, 28-page report to see how much your business is worth and what you need to do to make it worth more. And by the way, our system does, although it's turned off in mine, give you access to run valuations anytime you want. If you want to see how much your business is worth, you don't get this 28-page report every time, but you can see how much your business is worth at any given time. You become a published author overnight, and you get in the How to Invest in Small Apartments book. And don't forget, if you don't think it's worth every penny you paid, we give you 100% of your money back in 30 days. It really is that simple. So the website to go to is creditsuite.com/webinar, and this will be up through Friday. Okay. Outside of Friday, do not call and be upset and angry and say, oh, that I can't get that discount. Look, we honor what we say. So if it's one of those things where if this is something that interests you, and I will get to questions in just a minute here, then make sure that you go ahead and get in while you actually can get the discount. If not, that's okay. You're just don't expect to get the actual, don't expect to make sure that you're going to get the bonuses and the discount, because you don't. We do that during the time frame. So if you're getting in on this before Friday, then you will see that that is available. But if not, you can't expect to see that page. So I put that link right there, creditsuite.com/webinar, and I'm going up. We're going to answer as many questions as we can. Yes, this will be a replay. If you attended through before the Q&A, you will actually have access to the replay. I will email it to you as soon as tomorrow. So you will get that information. So the law permits this data to remain on LexisNexis while it limits the consumer level. Yes, it does. The consumer level is 7 years for a DROG, 10 years for public records. Those do not apply to LexisNexis. Property info also shows for renters with landlord's info. Yes, it does. Yushika, yay, Yushika, what's up? I haven't talked to you in a long time. I miss seeing you. Ty, I just recently saw mine because they couldn't verify a Chapter 13 BK they're reporting and selling to the credit bureaus. The information here is absolutely sick. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And just so you guys know, Yushika is one of the top credit repair people I know in the country. Like, she's been doing this since I owned my credit repair company like 10 years ago. And so for her to say that, it means a lot, because she's a really reputable source in that field. How can you stop them from sending your information to the bureaus? You can't. That's the whole thing. You can't stop it. I gave you options to opt out of it, and you can't opt out unless you're in witness protection and in a police office or something like that. I bet Facebook gets data from here. Facebook gets data from everywhere, guys. But let's be honest, they don't need to. The reality is you're giving Facebook so much information that they already have. So you got those emails removed, even though they were accurate. I thought LexisNexis kept historical data with no requirement to remove it. How do you get that removed? It's a matter of disputing it. And this is something that we help our clients with, but it's just a matter of disputing it. LexisNexis doesn't get a lot of disputes. And what we found is that when you dispute LexisNexis and the business credit reports, it's fairly easy to get the stuff removed if you follow the proper steps. For the record, the person with the 2 judgments did not follow the proper steps, disputed it, thought those judgments were gone, then went to get the loan and found that they weren't gone, and it became a complete mess. But yeah, you can go to them directly to remove the information. So if owning a credit repair company, what is the benefit of having LexisNexis? Well, look, you saw the benefit of, you should at least see what's on your LexisNexis credit report, no matter what industry that you're in. For me, I just kept having things come up many years after I owned my credit repair industry where they were linking me to that industry and that business, and I didn't know how until I got LexisNexis. Much info for sure. However, there seems to be many blanks. Well, there is a lot of blanks because a lot of it's not completed. They take all the information they have. So you can see on those properties, there might be 100 data fields and there's only data in 25 or 30, but I only showed you some snapshots. There's at least 15 different address sections on my LexisNexis credit report, and some of them have a lot more details about the property and some have less. But I've not seen one property I've owned where they had every single one of those spaces filled out. So what Pam is saying, hey, look, some of those spaces like addresses, they do have spaces for all that info, but they don't have it. They don't always have it, but in a lot of cases they have it. It's just actually spread across your credit report. Example, traffic, no social listed, no driver's license number. Yeah, correct. Home records, much info, but both personal plea. So how do you correct? Well, again, what you're realizing is that they have all the information that they have. Sometimes they have more details on properties than not. Sometimes they have more details in certain sections than they don't. So again, the only way to do it is to get the report, see if it's accurate, and then dispute it directly with them if not. If you already have an LLC, done everything wrong, obviously, PO box and home address, MCA accounts that are drowning us and can help us correct this. Yeah, we can help you. I mean, Gerald, Gerard, excuse me, it's not Gerald, it's Gerard. This is the story of our life. A lot of people come into us because they're not able to get money, and we start fixing the fundability to help build the foundation the right way to fix all those things. You just saw examples from like 4 clients or 5 clients where we helped them fix their fundability and they turned around and got loans. So we can help you through that without an issue whatsoever. And we also have financing that combines MCA loans. It gets you out of MCA loans, it gets you into longer term loans, and then it helps you with your payments and consolidate. So we have MCA, we specialize in getting people out of MCA loans because, as you know, they're nasty. We did SBFE, you got in late. That's a small business finance exchange. And again, we talked about them earlier in the webinar, but if you stay to the end, which you're still here, true to you, we'll get a playback. Gerard, really don't want to start over. You don't need to start over. You definitely don't. We can help you. We can help you with the business you have, and it's a process of figuring out what's going on, disputing any negative information, establishing the positive information, consolidating those MCA loans. Trust me, you're suffering from something a lot of people suffer from, exactly the same thing. Pam says, if inquiries do not matter in business credit, is it showing pre-qualified, not to waste time? Yes. The reason that we show in our system that you're not qualified is because you don't meet those requirements that the credit issuer has. It's typically that you don't have enough trade lines. You don't have enough accounts reporting on your business credit reports. So the reason people take so long building business credit is this. They come in, they have 3 accounts, and then they go to a credit issuer, and the credit issuer has a requirement that they must have 4 accounts, okay? So then they apply for the credit issuer that they need 4 accounts for, and they get denied, and they don't know why. So the next thing they do is they go find another source. So they go to Home Depot. Home Depot needs 4 sources, which isn't true, but I'm giving you an example here. And so then what they're doing is then they're coming in and then they're trying to go to Lowe's, and Lowe's needs 5 and they only have 3 and they get denied and they don't know why. Then they turn around and they start building more credit, and then they go back to Lowe's and Lowe's denies them because now they only have 4 trades where Home Depot would have approved them. That's why all of this matters so much. That's why by being able to come in and access the actual underwriting guidelines and see exactly what you need, it helps you save time. You're not in applying for credit sources that you're not able to get approved for. You're able to come in and see you pre-qualify for Walmart. You're able to see exactly what you need to get approved. You're actually able to get the back link to their commercial loan applications to get approved. This is the stuff that would take you, like what I just showed you in seconds would take you hours to try to get. You're going to have to struggle to find the commercial link, and you're never going to know their underwriting guidelines. So the only way you're going to get approved is if you come in and you actually know exactly what it takes to get approved. Okay, so example, okay, you got to have these things. If you don't, then they're going to require a PG. We're telling you exactly what it takes for every single source. We're telling you exactly how many trade lines you need to get approved. Okay, so again, we're telling you how many trade lines you need to get that source. We're telling you if you have the trade lines. We're giving you the underwriting guidelines. It's to save time. Fast, 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 fast. That's what we care about. How can we get you as much money as fast as possible? Well, we have to remove the barriers. The barriers are you don't know how many trade lines it takes. You don't know what the underwriting guidelines are. You don't know what it takes to get approved. By taking all that out of the equation and telling you all that, then it just saves you a tremendous amount of time. So that's how we actually do that, Pam. Hopefully that makes sense. How much to get started? We did talk about that. Again, If you go to creditsuite.com/webinar, you can see our special, and it is $24.97, which saves you 20%, or $4.97 a month. And again, we can break that into pay, or we can break that and make that even more affordable if those payments don't work. Do you take on a non-partner as a client or referral to a local partner, or do you take on customers non-partner, or do you take on non-partners as clients or referrals? Remember, we do, because you don't have to be a partner. If you're getting our core package, you can enroll without being a partner. Partners are VIP. I think I'm understanding that. How does anyone, or do you take on customers, non-partners? How does anyone keep up if so? I'm not exactly sure. You might have to ask that question again, Pam, because I don't think I understand it. Do it. And Gerald says, Gerard, I want to call you Gerald, man. Like, I really want to call you Gerald. I don't know why, but my mind keeps adding an L in your name. Gerard, do MCAs go on my business credit report? The answer is yes and no. And by the way, this is another great story. We had a client that actually had, what happens is sometimes they put it on your credit report as a UCC filing. So sometimes they put it on there to notify people you have a lien outstanding. But the problem is the company that had this person had went out of business. They went to get an SBA loan, and that was a requirement to show that that UCC filing was no longer there, but the company had gone out of business. So how do you fix that, right? So we worked with them, and we went through and got what was needed to clear the UCC filing requirement, because that bank had went out of business. They couldn't get it from them to actually clear that. So yeah, sometimes they do on there as UCC filings, which just notifies people you have an outstanding loan. Hey, I missed the first 5 minutes. Have you mentioned how would you qualify for this service? LexisNexis, anybody can get it. You're going to have to do a Google search to get LexisNexis, or again, if you're working with us, it's something we help you with as well. I have not set up the call because I don't believe my business meets your criteria. We don't have criteria. The bottom line is, we believe anybody that even wants to start a business should be able to go through and obtain capital. And for us, even if you're starting a business, as you saw in step 1, we help you with all aspects of setting up that business so you can get approved. I can't remember if you said whether or not you can dispute what's contained. Yes, you can. You can dispute it directly with LexisNexis. And for tax reporting, how do I figure if my business is considered high risk for loan purposes? You basically want to do some research online. I have on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/credit suite, I have training on industries that are high risk. Again, if you're a client, we have an updated list in our system that we actually use, but it updates in our system, so we don't put it out in the world because it changes daily, high risk industries. But you can do but on my YouTube channel, I think you'll find some interesting information there. Gerard says, so should I start my current business? Yes, use the current business. I've only been in business for 9 months. Does that mean no? Anybody, even a startup, we're able to help. When you typed in LexisNexis, you misspelled it. Did I? I put a U in there, didn't I? So are you saying that creditsuite.com does have it? I did. That's exactly what I did. And so, hey, thank you for calling me out, because that's exactly what I did. I put LexisNexis and I added a U instead of an I. But I still don't have it in there. But anyways, that's okay. LexisNexis, you misspelled it. Try it again. I did try it, but let me know if it works. What do you do if a creditor requires your social only be in compliance with Paycheck? You need to provide it. That's a very, very true requirement. I will be just getting started with my business. I'm so interested. I'm in the process of getting my credit fixed. Can I still go through? Yes, absolutely. We help you with that all the way through. What is the benefit of your company issuing credit to business just starting out? Well, the benefit is money. It's as simple as that. You know, I mean, can it help you to have a $10,000 credit card at Office Depot and a $10,000 at Lowe's? It depends on the industry you're in, right? If you work in an office, we use Amazon, we use Walmart, we use Staples, we use Office Depot. Those are the ones that we're actually using. Okay, but you can also come in and you're also able to be able to get a lot of other things as well. So starting out, yeah, you're fine. I mean, the benefit is you're able to get high limit credit card accounts. If you're in the trucking industry, you're able to get gas cards and fuel cards, right? If you're, in building, you're flipping homes, you're able to get Home Depot and Lowe's. So the benefit is that you're able to access a lot of money, and your business credit determines if you're going to get financing, how much you'll get in the rates and term. So it starts paving the way for you to get financing. What if you change your name? Will that be reflected on your LexisNexis credit report? Yes, it will be. You did say we would get the replay. Yes, you watched through the end. I'll email that to you tomorrow. It has to go through a whole process of rendering and stuff like that. Jonathan's asking about payments. Yeah, that very well could work. Give us a call, 877-600-2487. For anybody that wants custom payment arrangements, I won't discuss that here because there's a reason it's custom. It's for you. But if you just send a quick email to info@creditsuite.com or give us a call, we will talk through this and we will work with you. And if it's feasible. If it's not feasible, we've got other programs that will make sense for you as well. I'm currently suspended personal time and finance situations as a white label. I need LexisNexis cleanup, definitely. What can I do as I'm currently suspended? What might I do better my credit without you guys? Well, I kind of already gave you that information. You want to go get your LexisNexis credit report. You're going to fill out a one-page sheet. That'll get that to you. And then you're just going to have to, it's self-research, right? You're going to have to go through and get the dispute form information and all that information if you're doing it on your own. But look, there's nothing that we or any company in this world basically does that you pretty much couldn't do on your own. I mean, you could build an Apple computer if you wanted to and you knew how to. So it just comes down to the fact that working with us, it just saves you a ton of time. If you're going to do it on your own, just go through the process. Go do a Google search, get your LexisNexis report. They're going to have a dispute form that you'll fill out, and you can go through the process of disputing it with them directly, David. Hopefully that helps. By not having a business address, keep you from getting an unsecured line of credit or those institutions that require the paperwork? Not as much. It depends on what kind of actual address you're using. Home addresses are okay. Virtual addresses are okay. PO boxes and UPS addresses absolutely can and will oftentimes get you denied. Maurice, great question. One last question. So if you can get business credit, for example, Home Depot based on your EIN, why do they ask for your social? Well, typically the answer to that has changed. It used to be that they asked for it to see if you'd give them the personal guarantee because most people don't know any better. As of June of 2018, the government now requires that you supply your social and date of birth to identify yourself. So they should tell you that. We need your social and date of birth for identification purposes only, and you're only giving it to them for that. If they ask for the social and they don't clarify that, what we have our clients do is we have our clients call or fax the applications in and stipulate that they do not give permission for a personal guarantee or credit check, that the information is only for identity purposes. And if you tell them they don't have your permission for a credit check, they won't do a credit check. Maurice, I still don't understand the partner thing. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure what your question is on the partner thing, but if you ask that question again, I will, and clarify your question, I'll be able to get it answered. What if we have multiple businesses? Is there a package for that? You don't need it. What you need to do is go through the steps. Like every client testimonial I showed you, they all started multiple businesses when they started getting this kind of funding for us. They all do. Marlon has multiple businesses. Thelma now has multiple businesses. She just co-authored a book with Brian Tracy. Christine has multiple businesses. All of our clients, once they start going through the steps and getting the system, they just duplicate the steps of the second business. You don't need two systems. You just need to follow what we're doing and do the same thing with multiple businesses. What are the top 4 or 5 trade lines we should attempt to get first? Uline, Quill, Granger, Gimplers, those are probably some of the best and most easily accessible vendor accounts. Now, our clients are accessing vendor accounts for website services, SEO services, marketing services, t-shirts, stuff like that. But a lot of those sources you're not going to find out in the world. Those are exclusive to our clients. And by that, I mean, we worked with those sources to get them the ability to report. Then we add them to our system as vendors, but nobody else even knows they exist as vendors because we got them the ability to report. They didn't even report until we did. I have friends who can use this service. Do you offer any reseller referral programs? We do. David, first of all, keep in mind, if you're a partner, you can make about $2,000 for every single one of those friends. So if you have 2 friends that could use this, you'd pay for your own enrollment. If you want to just be an affiliate, you don't have to pay anything to be an affiliate. Give us a call, 877-600-2487. Send us an email, info@creditsuite.com. We'll help you get set up as an affiliate for free, and then you can refer people in and earn really, really, really nice commissions that way. I appreciate you thinking of us. Can you purchase Core, then upgrade to VIP? Shannon, you absolutely can at any time. How do you build your credit if your business does not require credit card utilization? Rather, you need business loans. How do you build your credit if your business does not require credit card utilization? Rather, you need business loans. What you have to understand is that business loans are issued based on business credit quality. Just like if you want to get a consumer loan, they're going to pull your consumer credit, and your consumer credit is going to determine how much you're going to get, the rates and terms, and if you get approved. Business credit's the same way. So what you're saying is I want a loan, but then I don't want to address my credit that they're looking at to give me a loan. you can see the discrepancy there. So it's very difficult to get a lot of kind of loans out there. SBA, you can't even get without building business credit. If you want to get a loan, it's based on one of three things: cash flow, credit, or collateral. You need to have good credit or collateral or cash flow to get a loan. Business credit's the only kind of financing that doesn't require any of the three. And by the way, as I mentioned, business credit will determine the rates and terms you'll pay if you'll get approved for the financing and how much you'll get approved for. How long after having a startup can I get approved for a loan? As I just mentioned, Jessica, it's cash flow, credit, collateral. As a startup, if you have good personal credit, you can get financing right now. If you have collateral, you can get financing right now. If you have a guarantor that has collateral or cash flow, you can get money right now, or collateral or credit, you can get money right now. If your strength is cash flow, based on cash flow alone, it's going to be 3 months of you establishing cash flow before loans based on cash flow open up. And don't forget, there's no time requirements for business credit as well. And why is business credit so important? Everybody thinks they need a loan, but what for? I mean, what can't you use a Visa card for? Well, you can even liquidate the Visa card to get cash. So what I'm trying to say is that so many people are focused on the wrong thing, which is why they fail to get money. Loans are not easy to get. Business credit's very easy to get. Why try to go the hard road to get something that's very difficult to get when you could get the easy thing? And credit cards could pay for almost anything and be revolving where you could use them again. A lot of our clients end up getting both, but just something to keep in mind. Trucking is not high risk, and trucking is one of the top industries we serve, as well as real estate agents, investors, and financial services. How long is the relationship with your business for the payments you're talking about? It depends. I mentioned a couple different options here. And if you go to creditsuite.com / let me see your slideshow, what just happened there from current slide. If you go to creditsuite.com / webinar, you can see here. So for core, it's 7 payments, and it's 7 payments here for VIP. So that's your answer. It's actually ends up being 7 payments for both. But again, we do have, that's not what I wanted to do, is swap. Okay, so but we do have other, we can work with you too if those payments aren't affordable. But again, the 7 payments, you will pay interest if you're paying payments. You will get a big discount if you're paying one pay. Could one person have more than one business getting credit? Yep, we just talked about that. Can you work with you helping others get funding? Can work with you helping others? Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, we do a lot of this. Like, we go to events and we handle the financing, and they are selling from stage and selling their products, and we get financing for them. We serve as the financing source for a lot of companies that are trying to get financing for their customers. So hopefully that makes sense. We do a lot of that. Can I work with you helping others get funding? Yeah, we just talked about that. Do most large banks require PG for lending, and only a few select only sole use business credit? Asked because I went to PC and asked, and they basically told me, oh yeah, PNC right now is all PG. Now, that's the way PNC is. And if you're working with us, we're telling you the sources that are and aren't, and it changes all the time. KeyBank used to be notorious for no PG, and they don't do that anymore. This changes daily. And it's why so many people think that there's not cash credit without a PG, because it does change daily whether or not you do or don't. But I can tell you, I have clients that have walked in and got $100,000 PNC credit lines with horrible personal credit with a PG because they established their business credit. So even though they did give PNC a personal guarantee, they got 2 credit lines for $100,000 a piece with bad personal credit because their business credit was so well established. To answer your question, to get money without a PG, you need to have really, really well established business credit to start getting a lot of loans, or collateral in most cases. But you know it's possible. Michael Dell isn't personally guaranteeing Dell's loans. Eventually, a credit report gets big enough where you don't need a lot of that. But as you said, some sources like PNC, you're going to have it, but you could still get around credit issues with PNC, even if they do have the personal guarantee. And we're giving you the sources that you can use to get without the PG. You saw that in our system. We tell you these ones have a PG. You saw PNC in there. These have a PG. PNC was in there. These are no PG, and PNC's not in there. The price is $24.7 to be a partner. Okay, so it is $34.97. Here is the actual look at this again. creditsuite.com / webinar. $24.97. This is to offer business credit and get financing for your business. This is to get it for your business and offer it as a package, all that partner package. So it's $1,000 more. It's $34.97 if you're the partner. If you're getting it for your business, it's $24.97. Don't forget, you're not paying D&B $1,500. You're not paying, an extra the $100 $200 a month for credit monitoring. You're not, you paying for 411 that's $360 a year. If you look at what you save more money working for us in the year than you're even going to end up paying to enroll with us. So keep that in mind, Maurice. Is Vistaprint a good vendor? Yeah, but Vistaprint is a good vendor, although I haven't looked recently at how they report. I'm not sure. I'd have to actually talk to our data team or look through our system to figure it out. Can you list everything a person would need to do if they became a partner? I'm guessing they need to start their own business entity and set up a payment process or anything else. Well, look, that is step one, right? Set up your business address, your business phone number. If you're a partner with us, we're in step one, helping you set up the business. The business entity is set up, the address is set up, the phone number, the website, the email, all that's set up. Then in our partner basic training, we teach you everything you need to know to actually offer business credit financing as a service. So once you set up all aspects of the entity, which I already talked to you about in step one, the name, the address, the phone number, setting up your merchant account, setting up your bank account, making sure all that's congruent, at that point in time, you're ready to do business. And then in the interim, you could refer the customers to us to make up to $1,250 per sale, or go through our partner basic training and follow those steps to start marketing and getting customers. We teach you how to market, we teach you how to sell, we teach you how to close, but you're going to have to learn and take action. If you're going to succeed in business, you're going to have to be able to do that. So hopefully, Rhonda, that answers your question. I use Grainger and Uline regularly. Didn't even know that they offered Net 30. They never offered it to me. You have to know. When you go to those, what happens is that if you don't choose the right option of Invoice Me, you'll never know about it. So Gerard, by the way, I didn't call you Gerald that time. I'm getting better. So this is a perfect example of why most people fail to build business credit. They just don't know. Here you are having credit with these places that report, you don't even know, and you're probably not even establishing business credit, and you're paying cash for everything when they easily would have given you terms. So not only does business credit help you get loans and all these other things, it just helps ease your cash flow as well. Okay, get Quill and Grainger. Get Quill and Grainger not report. Quill and Grainger both report if you got credit. But again, what Gerard says here is something a little bit, is that he just didn't get credit with them. Delando, they do report, both Quill and Grainger absolutely reports the reporting agencies. As a partner, and we pay X amount for an initial fee to try enter a client, we are taking payments, clients don't pay or cancel. Yeah, you have the ability to turn them off. The way that works is this. Here's our partner program. You're coming in as a partner, and you're basically selling this system for about what we do, right? Which is about $3,000 is what we sell it for. $3,000, $3,500, same retail price. Your wholesale price is $700. So you pay $500 to $700. You could buy in bulk, buy more than one and get a discount. You pay $500 to $700. You turn around and sell it for $3,000, $3,500. The difference is your margin. That's how much you make, about $2,000 plus per sale on average. And again, FTC disclosure changes, depends on how much you charge, et cetera, but that's on average. Then, if you're an executive, which is $99 a month, you can choose to do that or not. Any funding your clients get, you get 50% of what we get. So that could be $200. If it's a small loan, it could be $10,000. If it's a large loan, we did a $1.5 million loan the other day. The payout was huge. So you get then half of that. So you can earn front end and back end commissions with the partner program. But if they don't pay, then you just come right up here to client dashboard and you can change their login information. So we just come right here to client dashboard, and I got a bunch of crazy bogus accounts in here that I'll show you. Let me go through these bogus ones, and let me get to a test one here. Let me get to, any of these will do, but this one. So then you have a client dashboard that has a bunch of different stuff in here, and that you're able to track with a client, and you can actually come in right here and you can change the password. So I can change their password so they can't regain access to the system until they were to pay you, for example, if you had that situation happen, Pam. But again, we even help you do things. We even have training in our back office on retention, things like that will help you along the way. Great webinar. Thank you, Pam. I appreciate that. So you're saying that a brand new business can build business credit? Yes. 4 to 6 months, even if your business is just starting. Yes. Remember, guys, business credit is not based on cash flow credit or collateral. That's why you can do it so fast. It doesn't matter if your business has cash flow. It doesn't matter what your credit is. It doesn't matter if you have collateral. That's why it can be built so fast. PG is personal guarantee. Maurice, you said we can make payments toward a service. I'm trying to understand that. We have a service that will, instead of paying us monthly payments, they will finance it for you. But you need to have, it's based on average credit. So they're going to do a hard credit pull, just so you know. So that's just a different way where we can refer you to somebody that you can finance their service instead of financing through us. When I spoke to some of your office, I was told that you couldn't help me to come back when my credit was better, or I had a, because you talked to our finance team, Harriet. There's two sides to what we do. We do loans and credit lines, and then we do business credit. We can help you with business credit. What you're describing is you talked to somebody on our finance team. You probably didn't have cash flow. You didn't have credit. You didn't have the collateral that you need. Okay. And again, because a result of that, you're not able to come in and get approved for that kind of financing. The kind of financing that you're talking about here is really going to be based on personal credit, the time you're talking about. So in that case, if you're applying for something and you don't have the credit to qualify for that funding program, you might not have qualified for that funding program, but we can still help you with all aspects of building business credit. Is a MLM business a high risk factor for Credit Suite? It's not for us, but for some loans and credit lines, you're going to run into that issue, yes. Cited, great. I appreciate that, Kay. Thank you. What if you have an EIN and LLC, some of the information already, then we help you. But remember, most of business credit building isn't setting up the basics of a business. It's actually starting to get credit. So we will still help you with that as well. Do I need the full service from Credit Suite? Yeah, because you don't even have any credit established. All you have is some basics for your business setup. So we would need to help you make sure the stuff that you have is set up credibly and legitimate, and then help you with all aspects of building business credit. Okay, I get it. Just another service you're offering for us to make money. Yes, that's correct. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I've answered a lot of the questions that have come in. I still might answer a few more, a handful more before we wrap up. Look, guys, here's what it comes down to. We help you get capital. We're the only company that exists on planet Earth that helps you establish your fundability, that does all these things to make sure that your business is set up legitimate and credible to get money, then also helps you with all aspects of building business credit for your EIN that's not linked to your SSN, and then also helps you with all aspects of getting loans and credit lines. We're the only one that does all those things. So we are a full service solution that helps make it easier than you'll ever find to be able to get money. All the money's in one place. You have finance officers. You need money 5 years from now, they help you. You're going to hear from them every month after you're done, and they're not calling to sell you anything. They're just calling to see how the business is doing. Literally, our finance team calls every single month to say, hey man, how's the business? How you doing? You cool with capital? What's going on? Like, you have a permanent finance person in your corner, and that's a big deal. You have an accountant, you have an attorney. Do you have somebody that you could just pick up the phone whenever you need money and call, and all they do is dedicated to all aspects of getting you money? That's what we do. Okay. We're also the most reputable and biggest in the space of business credit building. Okay. And I'm not throwing out we're the biggest. You could just do research. Like, Dun & Bradstreet's not what we do, but in the space of helping you build business credit, we are the 800-pound gorilla in that room, and we have a pristine reputation for doing so because, again, we do exactly what we say we're going to do. If you need money, we help you through that process. If you have affordability where you're like, I can't afford this, don't not get in touch with us. Get in touch with us. We will help talk with you. We have programs that aren't even on our website. We have ways to get you money to be able to enroll. We have affordable payment options where we can work with you on custom payments. The bottom line is does what I say make sense, and do you want to work with us? If you came and got a ton of great info out of this, fantastic. My goal is that you leave here with a bunch of info that you didn't have before you came. And if you want to work with us, that's great too. I'd love to work with you as a client or a partner where you don't have to worry about where to go to get money. You have somebody in your corner that helps you with all aspects of this. So don't not enroll. Don't give up because of funds. Get in touch with us. We have all kinds of solutions there. And if you have any other questions, just because you didn't want to ask him here or I didn't answer them, no worries. Then just get in touch with us. Okay, give us a ring, 877-600-2487. So that's 877-600-2487. info@creditsuite.com, creditsuite.com/webinar. Remember, the special, the discount, the bonuses will all take place through midnight Friday. You're getting a 20% discount, for example, on core. Guys, we don't do discounts very often because we're the only ones that have what we have. It's very unique what we do. Okay, we put millions into our software, our advising, our team, and everything to be able to make it where it's a point where it functions like it does to help you get money. So if there's anything we can do, we're here to help you. If you have any questions along the way, we're here to help you. We're here to help you with all aspects of building your fundability, getting business credit, and getting access to credit lines and loans. So give us a call with any questions, 877-600-2487. Send us an email, info@creditsuite.com. Let me answer a handful more. So in case it's to make sure I didn't leave anybody hanging. My client has a business with $20,000 Chase credit card that's almost maxed out, but a 2-year perfect payment history. Can he get added Can he get additional credit cards under his biz credit only? I don't know anything about his business credit quality. We'd have to look at his business credit report to see how many accounts he even has there. That's what would determine that, just so you know. When talking about business, you explain it so that we can understand it. Thank you. I appreciate that. I talk fast, and people complain about that on webinars. It's just the way my mind works. My mind works really fast, and so I appreciate you doing that, because a lot of people say, look, you talk like you're in a rush to get on an airplane. This is just like the way my mind and voice works all the time. Those people that know me well know that. Thank you for the information. I'm so excited the information you share, and I've learned more from you than any finance course I've taken in the past. Great, Grace. That's my goal. My goal is to teach you the stuff that they don't want you to know, these lenders and credit issuers, all the stuff they don't want you to know, and then you have a choice. Continue to follow me. Continue to take my free info. I give you so much of it, and then imagine what happens if you're working with us, how much happens behind the scenes that you get as well. But my goal, Grace, is just what you described, that you leave with a bunch of info whether you work with us or you don't. That's my goal. I need one more vendor. I have 4. I don't have monopolize your marketplace. Are there any other vendors besides Quill? We talked about that Quill, Uline, Granger, Gimplers is one that you didn't mention as well. Yushika, hello. I gotta see you. I hope you're going somewhere, Yushika. Credit Con, I'll be at Credit Con. Are you going to be at Credit Fest? We'll be at Credit Fest. Wherever you're going to be, you got to let me know where you're going to be, because I got to run into you again, and I haven't seen you since boot camp. You're so welcome. I love this webinar. Did I hear you say something that you can help finance someone else's product or service? Yeah, we do that, and I can also have sources that can help you with that as well. So just send us an email, info@creditsuite.com, or Yushika, you probably have my personal or my business email direct too. So yeah, let me know. By the way, is the VIP white labeled? Yes, it is white labeled, or you can sell it in our name and use our brand to help you either way. Do we get to work with you? Yes. As a matter of fact, if you want to actually get a chance to talk to me direct, you can even have a coaching form that you fill out if you talk to your rep, and you can spend time with me directly, and I can answer any questions that you have. But I will tell you guys, the team that you're working with, like you'll work with Jan on our advising team. Jan's who I go to get answers. Like she works with this all day, every day, end day, in and out. Her, my COO, Megan, they make me look like I know nothing about business credit. So you'll quickly see that our advisors are even more knowledgeable than I am. And if somebody comes up and goes, you said this, your advisor said this, which is true, my default answers, advisors, they're always true, because they have the most up-to-date information. So you can get a chance to work with me, and through the coaching, you'll be getting regular coaching from me through weekly coaching webinars as well. And you'll see that I'm very present in the business. I am amongst my team all the time because we're family. That's just kind of the way that we are here in the company. So yes, I can't wait. I really look forward to your help. Appreciate that. Again, the number 877-600-2487 is our phone, and here that is. Okay, I'll come over for you. Come for the 150 credit line. I'm almost at 680. You're there, Maurice. You're there. Remember, it's not credit score. It's about DROGs. So make sure you get rid of those DROGs. I like your info too. Hence, I was very disappointed with the response I received. Well, look, Harry, it's always disappointing when you don't get approved. But here's the problem. We don't control approval standards. We're not magicians. We can't just magically make everybody qualify for financing, or we would. But you have a solution with business credit. If you can't qualify because your credit's not good enough, you don't have the cash flow, you don't have the collateral for loans or credit lines, no worries. This is why we have business credit. Every single person can get business credit. So you have a solution even if you can't get the other kind of financing. And let's be honest, if you tried to apply for the unsecured credit lines and you couldn't get approved, it's because you have credit issues. Our team can help you get to a reputable credit company that will help you fix that. So while you're building your business credit, you're fixing your consumer credit, so you'll have another shot to be able to get that other kind of financing you're talking about. White labeling, if we add on salespeople, is there an NDA or example one salesperson? Yeah, we can help you with that. And again, the white label applies to sales team. This is why your sales team have their own login, their own training that doesn't mention Credit Suite. Your training is even white labeled to the sales team as well. And we have training on to teach you how to keep sales reps, all that kind of stuff as well. Thank you. Perhaps the most informative upfront webinar I've ever experienced. I appreciate that. Over 100 in the last 2 years. Yes, I appreciate that, Gerard. That's awesome. You got to be patient. I checked my DMB. I have one account for 210 and it's bad, but not mine. Is there anything I can do about it? You could dispute it. Our team does help you with all aspects of disputing business credit. If you're going to do it on your own, DMB has a service called iUpdate that you can use to do that. Thank you for all the information. Love this, Amy. I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. If you have any other questions, I'm not leaving you hanging. Give us a call, 877-600-2487. Send us an email, info@creditsuite.com, and we will be here to help you. And don't forget, I'd love to work with you. If you like our free information, this is only a small tidbit of what you're getting when you're working with our team. So I'd love to work with you. And thank you very much. And Jeffrey says, thank you. Just somebody trying to get off my Social Security and start my business dream. I'll contact you soon. Guys, I look forward to working with you. Any questions you have, give us a ring. My team will follow up with you too. They're going to follow up to see if I did a good job, to see what I could do better. They're going to follow up to answer questions for you. Okay, so they're going to call. Don't be mean to them. If they send you an email or give you a call, give them the courtesy of a response in an email or call. Tell them how I did. Tell them the feedback. Okay, let them know if you have questions. Okay, they're only there to help you. So I'm going to have them call everybody as well. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense. Dude, this is so powerful. There should be like no poverty. I know. Tell me about it. Jasper, there's poverty because people don't take action, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up, everybody. Thank you all very much for tuning in. If you have any other questions, give us a ring, 877-600-2487. That's 877-600-2487, or send us an email, info@creditsuite.com, and our team will be in touch as well to answer any questions and see how we did. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.